What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. You know when we all laughed at MetaVerse for getting bought out at $0.25 and it went up to $2 and eventually went back down towards $1, but over time I haven't paid as much attention and it's headed back towards 2s. You see it's a market price 182, you see a little dip, yet it's sitting here at 175, and there's a lot of quantities for this to ever get a rebuy out. TCG Los, and it's not going to be played in one of the top decks, but it's a deck a lot of you guys are excited for. I think this is a sleeper card for Altergeist, and you guys really should pay attention to the next card if you're playing Altergeist, including MetaVerse. So I've always thought the MetaVerse would shine most with a floodgate-like field spell, and the next one I didn't consider till our live streams when we started playtesting with the Altergeist. And if you don't know, MetaVerse works very, very well with Multi-Faker, and actually a little more expensive over here on eBay. Secret Village of the Spellcasters. I didn't take into account that the Altergeist, the deck that already does relatively well against Brandish Maidens, aka Sky Strikers, had such a strong tool against them. And the reason why the Altergeist did relatively well in the OCG was because they are good against the Brandish Maidens. So seeing Secret Village, this is a relatively real option for them, not just for a card like Necro Valley. This is definitely one of the strongest field spells of all time. If you remember Necros format, this came in as a surprise during one of the YCSs along with Scolding, and it was very, very strong. So looking through, prices are relatively affordable on nice copies compared to what they used to be, because we do have a common version, but there's not an insane quantity of the common version. So if you are playing Altergeist and you want this for a budget as an option, you're seeing this now, you're thinking about how that will work against Brandish Maidens, you might want to get it sooner than later because it does come out of a structure deck. All the other copies are still relatively hard to get. You know, OTS packs over time run out. There's not many quantities. There's actually less than the structure deck itself. You have to rip open 3 structure decks to get this out. So definitely it's a card that's gone up and spiked really high multiple times. And if you're looking at it for the budget option right now, you're playing Altergeist, consider it. Definitely do. Just speaking on the power of that, Anti-Spell Fragrance has been played in True Draco and is also being looked at as side options for the future format. 559. I think it's gonna be a good card, but of course it's a card when you're going second you don't necessarily want to see in your hand. It's I don't know where it will end up in sides and mains. We don't know how the ban list will go hitting True Draco, but definitely people are putting it up here as the Battles of Legend version just keep seeming to go up. I feel like yesterday we were looking at it while it was $3.50. I feel like it was only a couple months ago when I was telling you guys it was like a little under $2, and to get them now, and it's pretty crazy. We still have them a little cheaper on eBay, but they quickly reach and meet $5 plus as well. It's been this way for a little bit, but we see that on TCG players starting to go up again, and we do see we have sellers with very high quantities, so it's not likely to like skyrocket or anything, but it just kind of shows stopping spells in this game. It's a little bit important. Let's talk about that dark structure deck hype. It completely flopped on its first opening weekend for a YCS. I think Simo and I were saying it's generous to even give it 2 to 3 slots in the top cut going into the event, and it didn't perform at all. So we do see that Juragetto is hyped because of its tribute aspect with that deck. Anything that says tribute, oh yeah, it's going straight in. But Juragetto has a ton of battle tricks. You can kind of fade them out of being able to get replays because it ends up, you know, doing an attack boost, so it has damage step work, and it's slowly been creeping up as well from its quote-unquote market price of $8.50. I don't think it was quite there too long ago. I remember looking at this while it was around $3 a couple months ago, so it's a good card. I just don't think that you know, the dark structure deck is completely viable, but it is battle phase tricks, which you know, if they take care of your field spell before that, this kind of misses out on being able to. I don't think you want to eat your normal summon with it either, but it is a nice little quirk to be able to use. My Hero Academia. Oh man. Dark Strike Fighter similarly. The Kali Effect actually said he had suggested this card. So I want to go back and say the Shared Ride was not a buyout by him, but a suggested card when he said, I did a thing. So he did not do it himself. But Dark Strike Fighter was another. He heavily warns not to buy it at this price and that it's ridiculous and that it was meant to be like kind of more of a cute tech slash option. Because guess what? You also have the word tribute on this card, a level 7 synchro, and so it becomes burn damage along with your removal. That's pretty good, but do remember that this has been errated as well, so it is what it is. It's not the strongest card anymore, but it is still a cute option. But again, the Dark Structure deck has just created the most hype out of anything to underperform. The Infernoid deck is good and hard to beat. Yes, I feel like Infernoids have the best chance with it, but I'm just not seeing another deck yet. And I do hope somebody carves that path. That card is amazing, the Dark Structure deck field spell, Lair of Darkness. But we've never seen such a like good card not really fit into the game immediately, and it's surprising just a little bit. Pendulums keep going down. Here's my advice with it. I think you want to watch for when you think Electromite's going to hit its lowest and maybe snipe a few for yourself. Now, this is a Megaton candidate. I believe this is, what, the last set for Megaton candidates. But I really think this is better than what people are giving it credit for. You have so many different Pendulum decks besides Pendulum Magicians, and if this gets hit, oh no. If Astrograph gets the hit instead, oh no. You have Metal Foes, you have Zephyras, you have so many options, and this will slowly perhaps become budget even, but you do want to pay attention and wait as it continues to nosedive straight down. Like, it's crazy. I did not think I would see this point where the ban list is just giving so much fear towards one deck that people pull back this far from. Remember this card being 70? I remember it being 70. Look at how budget Oracles are, or the Oracle of Zephyra. You have an option for $2 before it's $2.60, etc. You have every single card just so easy and free to get. You have some hype surrounding their ultis even that have pushed their prices up over time. This is actually falling down back relatively fast for Baxia from where it was at, but you have a really, really good option of a deck that, who knows, could get strengthened from a ban list, if anything, outside of, you know, Astro being hit and that kind of stuff. But definitely you have so many decks, so many options that I think you do want to watch this as it falls down and decide, should I get mine now? Well, this could be one of the missing cards from the Megatons. For all we know, all the Brains Pack cards could be missing from the Megatons, and they could be trying to do a pack in the future. We really don't know where the rest of the Brains Pack cards will come in, and that's just speculation. Like anything with a ban list is speculation, but we can definitely tell trends from the past, how Konami works, and try to make educated guesses from there. So, that's today's Market Watch. There's definitely a lot of interesting things going on. What do you guys think of Secret Village? I personally do like it as an option against Brandish Maidens. I think it gives MetaVerse a way better target than anything I had thought before. And do tell me more MetaVerse targets you would be thinking of in a Floodgate terms rather than like other terms, because I think that's where it shines the best. Being able to activate a field spell from your hand, it definitely has to be a Floodgate like Necro Valley, like our Secret Village of the Spellcasters here. You definitely want to go with something Floodgate-ish, and Terraforming is potentially on the chopping block. We'll see if the TCG catches up with the OCG on that one. Very, very exciting to see ban list season kind of here, and a lot of people are anticipating this week or next. We realistically have no clue, though. We have the guaranteed update when Grand Soil comes out, but I laughed at this. I thought this was a joke of a buyout, and you gotta eat your own words sometimes. I was completely wrong. Altergeist definitely, it just helps multi-faker out, and it gives you an on-board protection that really shuts down a lot of decks. So I highly underestimated this card, and I even said it was a good card, but I didn't think it deserved the $2 price point. I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. So it is sitting around here, and there are very high quantities, as a newer rare should have by certain people. But don't completely sleep on this either. A ban list could just throw this into a frenzy as well, depending on terraforming. So, like I said, you have budget options. The supers are relatively cheap compared to what they used to be. Actually, I haven't checked the in-stock of the supers. There are 40 total prices. I have to assume it's relatively a nice grab. $9, wow, versus a market price of $6. Maybe some people are ahead of me. All right. But there you have it again. Like, for the budget players, there is the common. If you are playing Altergeist, get it now. If you're playing anything else, I don't necessarily think it fits in very well once Brandish Maidens come out.